Village. This is our podcast where we talk about ridiculous things that make us happy. My name is Shay.
And I'm Bobby.
And this is our finale for this season, episode 35.
Wow.
I know. Can you believe that? How many we've done this season? That's a lot.
How many did you do last season?
30.
Oh.
So this is overall number 65 plus all the shorts, which is fun.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's a lot of
You like the
content.
shorts. Yeah,
Congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
Yay, us.
Yay, us.
Shake's own hands.
I know. Shake's own hands. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was super fun. So, for our finale, we issued one another another challenge, sort of, to read one of our favorite books. So I gave each other's favorite books. Yeah. So I gave Bobby a book, and she gave me a book, and we both read them.
Technically, we both gave each other a book, and then we both were like, no thanks, and then we
That's true.
one more time did.
That's true. Because the first book I gave you was The Scarlet Pimpernel, right?
Yeah, and I had already read it.
Right. Which is my favorite book.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which was still good.
Yeah.
It's still a good one. Recommend. We don't recommend, but it was good.
Yeah. If we were in the vein of recommending, that would be a good recommendation.
It's not a recommended. Some books you're like,
never again.
Never utter that again.
And then the first one that you gave me was The Dresden Files, which is one of your favorite books.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that one is
okay.
Real Life Chicago. It is. In which Shay does not like Real Life Chicago.
Apparently I really don't. No, it was good though. I need to caveat this, because if you can handle more gore than murder and more gore than I can handle. Whoa, the writing was fantastic.
She only read 16 pages.
I did, but in that 16, it hooked me, dude. I was like super excited. I was like, frick, this is amazing. This is so good. I loved the writing of it, but then we got to that first scene, that murder scene, and I was like, too much.
I started reading the second. I'd already read the first one, and then I read all of them. But rereading the second one, I was like, oh yeah, this one's probably fine. This one's probably fine. And I'm like, never mind. She's not gonna like this.
I'm too sensitive. I'm too sensitive. No, I am, because like I can't even watch movies where like kids are in danger. I'm like,
what kind of movies are you watching there?
Well, there's
like what, the Goonies?
No. There was no, that's because I don't like it. I know.
Is it because of the bullying? The bullying almost turned me off of the thing.
I think it's just it falls victim to all of those 80s movies where everybody in it is icky. Even the children are icky. Like, you're just like, I wouldn't want to be around any of these humans. Not one.
What about that pink pong kid?
No.
And I don't mean that in a racist way. That's a throwback to an Elvis movie where I guess Angela Lansbury was racist. But
no. I just don't like any of the characters from the 80s. No, with very few exceptions.
I don't know what his name is.
Sean Astin?
I don't know.
From Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like him either?
Not Ashton. Astin. Astin. No. I don't like that movie.
Okay.
I can't wait to no, so not that, but like Planet of the Apes. There was one Planet of the Apes where there was like some little kids and like their moms were holding them, and I was like, not okay. They're gonna die. Those kids are gonna die, and you never see them die, but you know that they're going to. And I was like, can't handle that. Can't do it.
So what movies do you watch? Because you're right. I also don't like.
Yeah, Kids in Peril.
But like, what, you just watch Bluey?
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
I watched some good movies lately. I'm trying to think of what I just watched.
And you know that there's people dying.
Yeah.
Men, women, and children are dying in like the first scene when they go to whatever. But like,
and
can you watch that?
I have watched. I actually am showing those to my daughter right now.
Right.
But
so does that send you over the edge?
There is a scene in the very first one where there's a kid in the middle of the street that's crying, and I almost lost it then. But a mom swoops him up and runs off, so he's okay. But other than that, there's not many children in the book in the movie.
Like, if you don't need to see them, this is a lot. But like, you know, they're pillaging the village there. Yeah. Like, and you know that not adult men just live there.
Yeah, it was hard. That was rough. That was rough. Or like when skyscrapers fall down. Like in any of the Avengers movies, when like things are coming down and you're like,
you can't handle that either.
No, I don't like that. I can't get over it. I'm like, it's not just a building
what's
to me.
Your top movie?
It was my favorite. Okay, all right, hang on, because it's an Irish independent film. Okay, so my number one favorite cartoon is Lilo and Stitch. Absolutely love Lilo and Stitch, and I liked it before it was cool. Because I'm old. But my favorite movie is this Irish independent film. It's called Waking Ned Devine, and it's not like waking him up, but waking as in mourning, like the funeral. Waking. Yeah.
Shrouds. Things
oh my gosh, that movie is so funny. It's so funny. So the premise of this movie is that there's this retirement community out in Ireland, and they're the only city in this entire county.
Sure.
And there's only like 50 people in it.
Sounds
Because it's
right.
just out in the middle of nowhere, right?
So you don't like murder mysteries?
No. Anyway, so these
This will be our
two.
last season.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I like listening to people tell me about them. But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so this community, they all gamble they're hoping to win the Irish National Lotto or whatever.
Okay.
And it is announced one day that somebody in that county has won the lottery. But this is the only city in this county, so they know that it's one of their neighbors, one of these 50 people that lives in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main characters, there's two old men, they're friends in their like 60s or 70s. They are going around like they're throwing parties, they're trying to find out who this person is, who the winner is, because they're going to cozy up to him and get some of the millions, right?
That's how it works.
Because that's, I mean, it's just this
Yeah.
farcical, ridiculous thing. And there's like a love story going off on the side too. It's just adorable. Anyway, but it turns out that it's Ned Devine who has won. But he was so excited when he won that he had a heart attack and died. So the movie is now about convincing the lotto man that one of these two old men is Ned Devine.
So was Ned Devine old?
Yeah, like, Ned Devine was old. Yeah, he had a heart attack and died. And they were all good friends. So like they loved Ned, and like, you know, so you don't feel so bad that one of his best friends is pretending to be him.
And
but
he doesn't
like
have like a wife or anything?
No.
He's just himself?
He's just himself. It is just, and I won't spoil the ending for you, but man, it is just the shenanigans of these two old men. It's just so funny to me, and the music is so good. It's so good.
Okay,
so Waking Ned Devine.
Do you have a mainstream movie you like? Not that I'm discounting your movie there, but it just...
No, it's fine. Like, okay, so movies, not like my favorite movies, but movies I do like. Of course, I love Lord of the Rings.
There's murder in that.
I know, but it's not children. We were talking about children.
Yeah, but they stormed that castle thing. Those orc guys.
I don't necessarily love those parts.
I just fast forward through this part.
I try not to think about them over much.
Okay.
Have I seen any good movies in the last few years? I liked Wonka. I thought that was cute.
New one?
Mm-hmm.
The singing one?
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
There was no pearl in that.
There was no. Well, I mean, you know, like. She almost drowned in chocolate, but that's you knew they were gonna get out. You knew they were gonna get out. We don't go to a lot of movies. I'm trying to think of anything I've seen that anyone would remember. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Well, what do you like though?
I
just like whatever comes.
I know, because I don't watch movies that often, but like I don't know, like Lord of the Rings. I do know what you're saying about thinking about it too much. Where you're like, oh no, I don't like too much. When it gets specific and you kill people, I don't like that. But like, the Avengers are fine. Lord of the Rings is fine.
I think I just go home and think about it too much, and then it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I'm not only being sad after I watch stuff. I want to be happy. I want to laugh.
Sure. I don't watch sad stuff either. Or read sad stuff or anything. There's no point in that.
I like a lot of old movies, especially the funny ones where they're like running around and doing ridiculous things. Man, I love that.
Like them like Doris Day movies and stuff?
Have I seen a Doris Day movie? Yeah, that old, but like. Trying to think if I can.
Or Rock Hudson or whatever, where they all had the same like Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart. I recognize. I know who Rock Hudson is, but I can't think of any movies with him in it right off the top of my head. But like Danny Kaye movies and like Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire.
Some of those Bing Crosby movies are weird.
They're weird, but at least you don't have to worry about children dying.
Have you seen the one where he becomes a priest or something, and he has to get all the kids together and sing?
Oh, I've seen that clip, but I can't remember the whole movie.
So weird.
Do you know who I really like watching is Gene Kelly?
Oh yeah.
He's such a fantastic dancer. It's just every time I watch a Gene Kelly movie, I forget the plot. Never mind that. Just fast forward to all the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fun. I like those movies. That's kind of what we grew up with at our house. So I feel like so old saying that now. Some of these movies are like 60 or 70 years old now. Some of them.
Yeah, but your parents are older.
My parents are old. Yeah. My dad, like I was saying earlier to you, my dad was 45 when I was born. Yeah. So
my dad was 25.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm also the first and you're the last.
That's true.
To be fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
My parents also got married super late.
Mine didn't.
Oh.
They're like in the 20s.
Yeah, my mom was 29 when they got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah. So I feel like a really old person, but I actually am a millennial, I promise. I guess millennials are old now too.
Stop.
My kids are giving me all that kind of garbage. They're like, Mom, you're such a boomer. I'm like, no, I'm a millennial.
Not a boomer. I'm a freaking millennial.
The worst generation to ever exist on the planet. They never let us forget it. We are the worst.
We've been through a bunch of garbage. No wonder we're messed up.
We should have a podcast about that. Do you know, I love how we started that this was all about the
This is
Dresden
about
Files.
books,
This is
but-
about book, but now we're on movies. We should just talk about music too while we're at it. No, so the Dresden Files were a bit too much for me. However, good writing.
Okay.
So, what was the book? What are we talking about? What did
Shay ended up getting the Skullduggery Pleasant.
Yes.
The first one. I don't know what the real title is. They're just all Skullduggery Pleasant. I think there's like, 15 books or something?
There's 18 right
18.
now.
That makes sense. And so
then
you read the first one, and I ended up reading Zorro.
The first
original
one. Yeah.
The beginning.
That was when it was printed in the dime magazines. I can't remember what they used to call those. But it was printed serially in the magazines. So like a comic book, but magazine.
Oh, you get little chunkers.
And they called them penny dreadfuls, I think is what they called them.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you weren't paying a whole lot for the magazine that you were getting. So I think they're called penny dreadfuls. Anyway, I have to go. My early 1900s history is atrocious. Don't really know what I'm talking about.
Am I right?
It's got to be older than 1850, and then I can talk about it with reasonable understanding. But it was printed kind of like how Charles Dickens printed his in newspapers. And it was originally printed as the Curse of Capistrano. So if you'd get your weekly magazine, that's how it came out, was the Curse of Capistrano. But then when they printed it in book form, they changed it to the Mark of Zorro. So that's why it's like that. That's why sometimes you can find it in book form as the Curse of Capistrano.
I wondered. That's why I was like, is this the one that I'm supposed to be reading? Because when I looked it up on the library app, there was that guy and that guy.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to find. But you want any edition that says the Mark of Zorro is going to be the easier one to follow. Plus, the story never talks about a curse anyway.
No, it does not.
It was dumb. So changing it to the Mark of Zorro was a good move on their part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe he had a plan and it just wasn't working.
Maybe Zorro was supposed to be considered the curse to the government.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it was called that. But Mark of Zorro is way more a better title for it.
Yeah.
I had questions for you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What did you think of it? Just tell me what you thought of the book overall.
I thought overall it was pretty good. It was kind of repetitive. The things that would happen. Something would happen. He'd be like, He would show up as Zorro. Sorry for spoilers. He'd show up as Zorro. You don't know he's Zorro. He would then do something and then he'd come back as himself and then be like, what? That's what happened? Are you sure it's not this? Huh?
Right.
And then it would happen again and again and again until the end, which I don't hate, but at the same time, I'm like, stop.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, though, because it was of the way it was printed.
Oh, yeah. Knowing that, that totally makes sense. Each little chunk would be like, that makes sense. Like I said, I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was way different than the movie that I saw.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Super different.
Yeah.
Which movie, though? Because there's 3 or 4 different Zorros.
I've only seen the one with the brother's head in the jar.
Antonio Banderas and Anthony Hopkins and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Zeta.
I only remember the first guy.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a great movie, though.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I did not expect the jar thing. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was a little bit much. However, would you like some information for you?
Sure.
That's real.
The jar thing?
Mm-hmm. And the Captain Love, he really did cut somebody's head off and stick it in a jar. I don't know if he made anybody drink out of it, but that dude was a real person. And a lot of the Murrieta brothers, also real people. And because the older Murrieta brother was killed, the younger Murrieta brother went freaking Rambo on the universe. He just, that whole idea of him sneaking in and killing people was real. There's such a good documentary on it. It's on YouTube. You could just look it up.
But you can't watch the Avengers die in a building. Excuse me.
I know. I'm really weird.
That doesn't match.
Okay. Here's why. I can explain it. I've been thinking about this for long enough. People give me this garbage all the time.
It's not garbage. It literally is not
Let me explain. Okay.
Come at me.
Here's the thing. Is watching people carelessly be slaughtered for entertainment is very, very different than understanding somebody who did it for real and was like, this is real vengeance. Even when it's portrayed like it is in the Antonio Banderas version. But once you know that the Murrieta brothers were real and he really was striking out for vengeance, it's like, oh, there's actual motivation and it's not just for you to entertain me. Am I being entertained? Yes, but it's not the same.
You don't like accidental deaths, side deaths. You're fine if there's, we'll say, purpose.
Well, like, yeah, like if there's purpose, but like,
Like,
can
you
you
can't-
imagine the kind of person that's like, okay, so I'm going to sit down and I'm going to visualize how to take apart a city full of human beings, and like, we're going to like make a dust plume here, and half of that's going to be like human corpses, and and like blood splurts and stuff, and I'm going to design this for your entertainment. I'm like, no, I don't
Yeah,
like that.
I think,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about zombie movies. You're like, some of this got through a lot of stuff, a lot of people. I think I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, not. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't like the constructed entertainment
Yeah, I get you.
or something. Anyway, but I know that's a double standard because I'm also like, yeah, but the head in the jar. Okay. But he's real. The Marietta brothers were real, and I'm sure I'm slaughtering that name because I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Anyway, cool documentary on that.
I'm not going to watch that.
That's fine. I'm not recommending it to you. I'm just telling you it exists. Maybe somebody else out there will watch it. Okay. I don't know. Oh, so
I
good.
did think, while I was reading this, I was like, this is just like Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was like, is this your MO? Because I know my MO is detectives, whatever, murder mysteries. Like, that's my jam. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you just like rich guys that are like, I need justice and I can't be myself and do it? I gotta hide and do it.
Yes, I think I do because I like Batman too.
And I was like, she likes Batman. I think I was talking to Emily or somebody, and I was like, I think she likes Batman characters.
I do like just Batman characters.
I'm rich and I'm gonna fix it.
I like that idea.
In an unorthodox way.
I think I like it because it actually harkens back to yes, but it harkens back to a medieval idea actually, and I think that's just the kind of personality, and that's why I glom onto it, because the supposed social contract between barons and their serfs was that yes, you'll give me your taxes, yes, you'll give me your food, you'll work for me, but when push comes to shove, I will go and bleed and die for you on the battlefield. And that was the social contract. And so I love to see the social contract being fulfilled by wealthy people like Don Diego, like Sir Percy, like Bruce Wayne, where they're like, what is happening to you poor peons is not correct. I will go and take care of it. I will go fix it for you.
But it's funny that the fact that they don't just walk out and be like, I'm the mayor, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they can't. All of them have legitimate reasons why they can't do it. Robin Hood kind of is the same, depending on the version you follow. But like, they can't do it because you can't work inside the law because the current law is corrupt. And so they're going to bring it back to where it's supposed to be.
Why can't you change the current law?
Because they're not powerful enough. So they're rich, but they're not rich enough to take over everyone else.
So they don't like to be Tony Stark about it. You can't be Tony Stark. Where you're
Tony Stark did it with weapons.
No, he changed his weapons. He was like, oh, I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Are we good?
Right. The Iron Man suit didn't terrify any of the other terrible human beings on the
exactly
planet.
Who it was.
Yeah. That's fair. Do they know in the comic books who Tony Stark is?
I don't know that. I don't know. I've only seen the movies.
Well, someone on the internet tell us what's the difference between Tony Stark in the comics and the movies.
I think they know. He's pretty like,
yeah.
This is me and I want the credit.
Don't you think he's an aberration compared to other superheroes though? Like no one else is out there revealing their secret identity. I mean, Captain America, I guess.
So he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Some of them don't wear masks.
Well, I think they also just don't want the bother of it. Because if you think about all of those personality types, Bruce...
The bother of it?
Yeah.
There isn't a bother of having to run over, be like, I have to pretend to be like, I'm tired. And then run away and then come back and do the work and then come back and be like, man, I'm so tired.
I don't think they want everyone to know who they are so that they can come and bug them. I think they're like, nope, I'm going to keep my privacy. I'm just going to use my money for good. Bam.
Build a fence, man.
I guess you've got enough money. Go ahead and build a fence.
Yeah, I was going to say hire a bodyguard.
No.
No, hard stop.
It is my archetype. This is the kind of
visiting
people
hours are not right now. We cannot take any more appointments. Eiffel. I'm trying to change the laws here.
Okay, so with that comparison to Scarlet Pimpernel to Don Diego though, if I had read Zorro first, the whole Zorro series, I think I would have liked Zorro better.
You think so?
Than Percy, yeah. And I don't think that the writing is as good. I do think Baroness Orski's writing is better, but I do think that the Zorro writer, I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head.
Beats me, man.
Anyway, I think that his is more simplistic and more accessible.
Oh, yeah.
So if you like that kind of trope, I think the Zorro books are better.
Oh, for sure. I get what you're saying. Yeah, Zorro was way more like anybody.
Anybody could read it.
Like, I feel like I understood the Scarlet Pimpernel just because I'd seen the play. I've heard you talk about it. I had known some things prior, and then because if I just went into it cold, there were even going into it how I went into it, like there were some parts where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. We're gonna carry on.
You have to know some history. You have to know some
some business.
Yeah.
I think it did help seeing the play because you can like physically see what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I went to a play version of The Scarlet Pimpernel a few weeks ago. What? It was so fun.
Was it?
It was great. It was in this really divey, tiny little theater, maybe 60 people seated in there.
Yeah.
Have I told you this already?
No.
Okay. So, and it was like so irritating to me because there was this family right in front of us and they had decided to sneak in 3 extra children. What? And they had these children sitting in their laps. It made me so upset. And they were like loud. Children? Like, I think the oldest one was like around 8 and they had like a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old maybe.
I'm like, anyway. There's some places where I'm like, if you're under the age, height limit, if you're under the age of 6, you don't get to come in. At all. Do not come in.
I know. Here. Why would you bring little children to a play? They're going to be bored out of their mind and they're going to disrupt everybody. Like,
and even if it's like one, like, because there's like musical the musical, I'm like, that's for kids. Yeah. I'd still be like, no.
That's for kids 5 and older during the afternoon.
Right. Like, or have like a specific time because I'm like, then they're just going to be bouncing off the walls because it's so fun.
Yeah.
It ain't your place.
My guess is that they had a family member in the cast. But anyway, regardless, so they all snuck them in. Well, and like so look, we're over fire code at this point. Like you can tell we're over fire code. And like the ushers were like, oh, let's try and find you a seat. Well, the people that were right next to them were like, oh, we can scoot down 1 seat, and and so like they just were like rearranging people all over the theater who had like gone there to pick those seat tickets. They like planned it out. Yeah. So that was annoying to me. Anyway, then right at the very height of one of Percy's songs where he's like, takes a breath and then sings strong. So like as he took this breath, someone in the back goes, strong!
Mother freaking
screams out. And then and like you could tell that the person singing was kind of like, strong!
Mother
oh my gosh. It's like the climax of the play, right? Where he's like, I gotta be strong. Anyway, not the climax. It's in the first act. Where he's just learned Marguerite's betrayed him. Anyway, so it was like that. But then there was a dude front row. So like the lights. And this is a tiny theater. So like the lights from the stage touched the front row. Yeah. Right. Fell asleep. Old man zonked like out right there, 2 feet from the actors that are singing their guts out for us. Dead asleep for 20 minutes. Yeah, I was dying.
At least that, I'll take that old man over that guy yelling at, hush the frick up. If you want to sing, you can get up front.
Okay, and also like too, I am impressed by people who have taxi whistles. I'm jealous of people who have taxi whistles. I would like to learn how to do this. I have tried. I've done all the YouTube tutorials. Apparently my tongue doesn't curve correctly. Anyway, there was a person there in a theater that only seats 50 to 60 people who was doing a taxi whistle at the end of every single song and clapping like I don't know, like
they're in
so
echoes or something.
Loud. Yeah, but like screaming that they were so excited, screaming, and I'm like, you got okay.
Read the
room. We're not at a football game. Yeah, like seriously. Anyway, it was awful. It was the worst, like hands down, worst audience experience I've ever had. But it was such a good play. The actors were doing so well.
Did they? Where's?
You okay?
So sorry. Hopefully you can hear me. I was in my armpit the whole time.
If it didn't, it'll pick up on mine.
Did they? My favorite part in there is when they all go to the thing and they're all dressed up in like weird colored clothing.
The men are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they do that every time? Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I'm like.
It's the song for That's Why the Lord Created Men. Oh. So they're dressing up like peacocks so that they can avoid detection from the crown prince.
I love the costumes.
It's so fun. They did a good job. Like the actors were so into it. It was the best. Gosh. It was the best trio I've ever seen. Because usually when you see, I'm just gonna call him Javert, and that is the wrong play entirely. What's his name? The bad guy. Gosh. Oh no,
I don't know.
When you read the books, you learn that he's Chauvelin. There it is.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
When you read the books, you learn that he's actually aristocracy. Oh, he's a Marquis. So he's betrayed his own social class to be this terrible human being. Anyway, whenever I think of him as the Marquis de Chauvelin because that's how I know him in my head. So, but he's not. Sorry, spoilers for everybody. Anyway, so usually you either have a good Chauvelin or a good Percy. You can't have both.
Oh, and in the play?
Yeah, in the play.
I thought it was like, one's a bad guy and one's obviously
no, like performing well. Yeah, like you can't have both for some reason. And then if you do manage to get an okay one of each of those, Marguerite is terrible. And like usually she's just mid, right? Like Marguerite's always just mid, right? And then you can either get a fop as a Percy who's like really good at playing like that little you know, that
yeah,
part.
Yeah.
Or you get a really strong Percy who's terrible at playing the fop. And you're just like, you were very unbelievable in the most important song in the entire show.
Oh,
Because
no.
you're supposed to be ridiculous here and you're playing it like it's serious. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
You need to like wave your feather fan, friend.
Oh my
Like you gotta wave it, but then you also have to be able to fight with a sword at the end.
Oh
like
my
you gotta
gosh,
be able to do it.
You gotta play both sides.
And while these guys were not Broadway quality for sure,
Yeah.
all three of them did their parts very
Oh.
well. I was like, yay, finally we got a trio, and then we had the worst audience imaginable.
There had to be a downer. If they were like, you know what I mean, the give and take of
You could never have a perfect play
the water
experience.
distribution had to like
Something had to be awful.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Scarlet Pimpernel. I have a love-hate relationship with that play.
Oh my gosh. I hope there's a play that comes out that's Zorro this year, so we can maybe go see it.
Oh, that'd be fun. I don't even know if there's a play of Zorro, but if there was, I'd go watch it. That'd be super cool. My favorite film version of Zorro is, oh, I should have looked this up. It's the guy with the super, super blue eyes. He played Robin Hood in that old black and white. Oh, dang it. I'll have to think about it later. Sorry, I'll post it on the comment section.
Okay.
I can't think of his name.
P.S. It was Billy Smith.
Everyone's
like, what is that?
No.
Okay.
That is my favorite version of it. I love it.
Oh
anyway, okay.
Yes.
Did I have any questions for you about Zorro? I gotta read my paper here. It's so boring for everybody online.
Shay always does the work.
I do. You do all the.
I wing it. So I'm like,
I do all the paperwork, but you do all the
technology.
The technology, because there's no way on planet Earth I'm doing that. No. Okay, let's talk about Skullduggery Pleasant, because I don't have any questions about Zorro.
What do you? Oh, I don't have any questions for it. Well, I guess what do you think about it?
Loved it.
Did you?
I loved it.
What?
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun that whole book.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Like right from the beginning, it was fun.
Yeah.
Right out the gate, I was like, oh, I'm involved. And the thing, I love action sequences in books.
Yeah.
When they're bite-sized enough that you're not like, and then the plane, and then the train, and then the snowman, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's too much.
Yeah.
But when they're like really compact, very clear as to what's happening.
Yeah. And
they just flow with the story. It's not like they clearly wrote this action sequence and then put a story around it.
Yeah.
I hate that in books.
Yeah.
This book not only nailed its important action sequences, it nailed every action sequence, and every single chapter has an action sequence in it.
Oh my gosh.
Just pounds you from the very beginning of just like instant peril for someone you instantly love, and it just goes from the very first chapter.
I'm gonna have to reread this. I mean, I remember like some, but like every chapter. Who was your favorite character? Who did you like the best out of there?
You're supposed to say Skullduggery.
Are you?
Yes, I think you are supposed to say Skullduggery, because he's, the
he's
walking wizard skeleton of doom, right? Super cool character.
Yeah.
And then I think you're then supposed to say the main girl character, who initially is called Stephanie, but then she picks her name, which is a cool whole part of the system of magic.
How did she get Cain?
Oh no, I don't remember why she picked Cain, but I remember Valkyrie.
Valkyrie makes sense, and but I'm like, I've thought about it, and I'm like, why did you pick Cain?
I'll have to go read that again. I don't know, I was just excited by it.
Yeah.
Valkyrie, Cain.
But,
so that was a cool.
So if you're supposed to like them guys, who did you actually like?
I actually liked Tanith the best, and she's like the female warrior. But then again,
awesome.
that was obvious from the beginning. As soon as she appeared on page, I was like, "There's my character."
There it is. I thought about doing Tanith as my fencing name. That just
not gonna happen.
Well, I wanted it when I brought it up to Quentin. Quentin was like, "No, you need a short name, a strong name. It's hard to something that's easy to yell."
Tanith would have been fine.
Tanith probably would have been fine, but it.
No.
Apparently,
that would have been a good name too.
Been, yeah.
I like your fencing name. No, I like it. Ren is a good one. That's easy.
Yeah.
I like it.
If you continue to read, then I would be interested in what you find.
In more of these books about Tanith.
About people.
About people in general. Okay.
Yeah. So if you continue, let me know.
Okay. So the funny thing was when this happened is that Ben had bought it for me on the Kindle, and he bought it in a trilogy, or in the first trilogy, which is the old ones trilogy, I think is what it's called. So like they're divided into different. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm not good with the names.
So he bought that whole trilogy for me, and I didn't realize that I was coming to the end of book 1, because on my Kindle it just told me you're 33% done.
When you said you were like, I still have 10 more hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like. The book's only 7 hours.
I was
What
like,
do you
man,
mean?
maybe I
You
was
got
like
10
reading
more
so
hours.
slow or something. I
was
couldn't
like-
figure it out.
And I even told Emily, I was like, I thought Shay was a pretty quick reader, and she goes, so did I.
No,
What the frick?
I read the bulk of that book in a day.
That's what I was
Yeah.
like. Shay's gonna be like, I
No.
gotta be honest.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I got 10 more hours. I'm like, 10 more hours.
Well, I know, that's what I was so frustrated by, is that it just, the Kindle just wasn't moving, and I was like, how many action sequences can we survive?
Everyone's gonna be dead after book 1.
When I told you, because we were going to record this 2 weeks ago, when I told you 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm not anywhere near done. I've still got 10 hours left. I was like, this is, who writes a book like this? I was like mad at the book. I'm like, who does this? Like, you can't.
I'm gonna forget the book I listened.
I
I've
know.
been through
Anyway.
4 other books by now. I'm like,
I found out that I was like literally 5 chapters from the end. It was like 20 pages, and I'm like, I could have finished it. I could have finished it on the way there, man.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that was so funny. So that was a completely unnecessary experience, but
Oh god, you liked it.
it was so great.
So you didn't like Ghastly Bespoke? Because I think at one point you told me you're like, I didn't like him.
He grew on me a little bit, but he doesn't have enough like screen time in this book. Like he just isn't there often enough.
Does he? I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, does he turn to stone? In this
He does turn to stone in this one.
And you weren't like,
no, I wasn't.
I did.
I wasn't.
I'll have you know.
Okay, well, he just isn't there enough for you to like have cared about him. I'm excited to get to know his character more as the books go forward. Same thing with Tanith, because again, you didn't get a ton of like page time with her. Most
Does
of it.
Tanith mean something?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Sorry,
No.
that's a side thing. Everyone's name in, like we were saying with Stephanie's, she changed her name to something that means something to her. Like Skullduggery Pleasant isn't his real name. He goes as Skullduggery Pleasant because he's a skeleton.
Right. Well, and like you don't want people to control you, because if they know your name, they can control you. Yeah.
So they pick that through other things. Like Ghastly Bespoke, I'm sure wasn't plopped out of his mom, and she was like Ghastly Bespoke. He picked that because he ended up getting jacked up in all his face and is ugly.
He's ugly, yeah.
But anyway, so that's why I was wondering if Tanith meant something.
I don't know. I don't think they ever said. But anyway, I love that, and I think that whole choosing of your name, resonates with me, just because 50% of the people in my life know me by the name that I chose, not the one I was born with.
Yeah.
So, or even probably more, that most people call me Shay. It's very, and like, it's weird when I'm in different environments and I hear, so like my nieces and nephews came to the last activity for the fencing group this year. Oh, and they played the night games with us there. Mm-hmm. And someone just called out, "Hey, Shay," and all of my nieces and nephews turned and looked at me like, what? Oh my gosh. Because they weren't used to hearing that. Yeah. And they're like, "Wait, is that your name here?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it is.
So it was just, I really, the choosing of your own name and like making something of yourself, and like, that was cool to me. And I liked that, you wouldn't allow people to control you and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool. I loved the magic, because it was explained just enough so that it made sense and you could accept it, but it wasn't over explained. Mm-hmm. So there's just enough world building without getting boring. Yeah. Like there's just never a boring chapter. There's never a boring sentence in the whole book. I was never bored. I was sad when it was over, and I was surprised too, because I was like, wait, because of the Kindle thing, and I was like, wait, is that the end? I'm like, frick, I'm not done yet. This isn't over. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. And just so you are aware, it does turn Harry Potter, where it like gets darker and darker and darker as you go.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah, sure. I'll make it. Sure. It'll be okay. I'm probably going to go through all 18. So
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that this weekend, but
nope. Not today.
Not today. But over Christmas break, maybe I'm going to pound into those and just totally enjoy them. But yeah.
Freak.
I liked the environment. It was kind of darkish, but it wasn't like vile. It wasn't like...
Well, this one's not dark.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we might get to book 10 and I'll be like, that went
That's
down.
Enough. There's one scene that I don't know which book it in, and even I was like, ooh, stop.
Well, we'll see.
It's pretty far in there, so you'll get pretty far. Yeah.
Well, I really liked this.
Didn't know. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't know how I thought you were gonna whatever, but that was like, oh, this is still good.
No, I loved it. I was on board the whole time. It was such a pleasant experience. It's been a really long time since I've read a super good book, so that was enjoyable.
Oh
yeah.
Glad I picked this one.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
There was a different one that I was like, I might risk this one, but I think that's one where like I had an emotional bond with it when so if you read it, you'd probably be like, hey.
I have books like that where I have emotional bonds with the book, and when I used to give recommendations, I would have people read these books and they'd be like, all right, and I was like, no, you don't understand, like it's so good, and they're like, okay, they're like, all right, that's fine.
All right, I don't want to.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have questions as existential questions both for you and the audience, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Go. What do you got?
Are books relevant? Are they important? And I don't mean, so I need to specify this. So obviously some books are super important, right? Like, you know, this is how math works.
Sure.
You know, that kind of stuff. Science, technology, all that kind of stuff. We have to have those kind of books.
Mm-hmm.
But fictional books, are they important?
I think so. I think it keeps your mind open and to let your creativity flow, but I think it also teaches you stuff in a way that, like, I don't know, there's been multiple times where things have come up in life and you're like, oh, I knew that because I accidentally read that in something else. You know what I mean? Where I think it just makes you a fuller person. I mean, I guess it depends on how niche you are. I was like, you know.
If you're only reading one type of book where the protagonist is a rich man saving up.
Right. I was thinking more like I'm not trying to poop on like romance books, but I'm like, how much information can you gather from those? I've just been hearing a lot on like the internet where like every book is the same, and I'm like,
have you tried reading a different book?
Yeah. Stop reading from the same person or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Walk to a different section of the bookstore.
Or squat down and pick something from the bottom. I don't know. Oh, but man. I think they are. Because I don't know. I feel better about going about it when I'm like, I've read a bunch of books. And people are like, I don't read. And you're like, all right.
That's always surprised me when I come across people who don't read. I remember when we needed a construction man to come into our house, and this is, I don't know, a couple decades ago, it feels like, but it's not quite that long. It feels that long. A long time ago. And this construction man came in the house, and at the time my whole basement was full of a library. I had hundreds of books. I have maybe a quarter of that now because I live in the size of a thimble. But he came in and the look on his face was of like, he was
in awe.
No, not in awe. He was aghast. Like, why would anyone have a book? Wow. And he just was like looking around and he's like, have you read all these? And I was like, most of them, yeah. There's a few on this shelf that I haven't got to yet because they're on my to be read list. And he was like appalled that I would waste my time reading a book.
See, that's great because I get not having them. I do audiobooks. So like me owning a physical book is like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But like not reading or like absorbing the information one way or another, that's preposterous on his account.
But he just thought that was ridiculous that I had that many books. And he's like, yeah, I haven't read a book since high school. And like, he was way older than I was. He was probably in his 50s. Like, and he's like, I haven't read a book since high school.
Boring, isn't it?
Like, what? Like, and I think,
what do you do with your life? Like, what do
what do you do? Like, what are you doing? And he thought that what I was doing was a waste of time. And I was like, that is bizarre to me. Because I had another person too. He was a trainer of mine, like when I was weightlifting and stuff. And we had a whole full-on debate while I'm weightlifting one day about the importance of public libraries. And he's like, I think libraries are a waste of time. They're a waste of space. They are a waste of taxpayer dollars, and they're completely unnecessary. And I was like, why? Because you don't believe in like having physical copies of books? And that's like, are you like thinking we should all go digital? Which is fine. There's an argument for that. Sure. Like, digital, he's like, no, I just think books are a waste of space and time. And I was like, what do you mean? A waste of time? Like, a library is the hallmark of every civilized, stable civilization.
Even if you're just reading like training books and stuff, like nutrition or whatever. Like, I'm not pooping on any of that. Like, that's nuts to just be like, burn them.
Burn the books. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm predicting that within 25 years we won't have public libraries anymore. And I was like, are you nuts?
Do not run for any sort of
thing, I will not vote for you ever.
I will actively negate that.
I mean, I kind of knew this answer that you were going to give me before I even asked it, but I actually am curious what other people think about this. Like, and I mean specifically fictional books. Is it important? Is it relevant? Is it necessary for us to read fiction? Yeah. What do you think about that? How would you defend it? If your answer is no, how do you defend it? If your answer is yes, how do you defend it? Yeah. Like, man, I hope we get some wild comments on this one. Anyway, but that was one of my questions. Do I have any more questions? I am. Oh, this I do. Sorry, I have to write all these things here. I need to put this like up on a teleprompter or something at some point when we're
bring a little clip. Put it on the card.
Billions and $billion riches, so I can look it up.
Please
Tyrone Power. There it is.
What the frick?
Tyrone Powers. That's his name. That's the guy that plays Zorro. I There you go.
I thought that was some philosophical thing that you're gonna be like, so let me tell you
That's
about
the
this.
guy that had the super blue eyes that played Zoro. Okay, Tyrone Powers. Now I don't have to put it up there. See? There he goes. He had crazy blue eyes, and I think he donated them to science when he died. So.
I mean, I guess you don't need them,
Yeah.
but like.
Just because they wanted to know why his eyes were so blue. Anyway, moving along. Okay. I have a question for you, but I also want people to answer this too.
Okay.
What are a few books that people should read? And I'm not saying give them a recommendation you're vouching for it. I'm saying like overall, throughout life, what are some important books that people should read?
I'm not the person to ask for that.
That's why I'm asking you.
So I only read murder mysteries. Which I don't think that's necessary.
You've read important people books too. Come on. You've read important people books too.
Like what? What is...
Think back to high school.
In high school, I only read To Kill a Mockingbird, Bean Trees.
Bean Trees?
It's, I guess a girl found a baby and she had to take care of it. She
Okay.
named it April.
Oh, I've never heard of this before. Okay.
What's the other one that's not To Kill a Mockingbird? The one with Lenny and the other one he ends up killing.
Catcher in the Rye?
No.
No?
It's Of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men, thank you.
1984. Which I know I have one friend that she loves that book.
I do not love that book.
I do not either. Are
there any important books that you haven't read yet that you think you ought to? That's a good question for everybody else out there too, because there's a bunch of important books that maybe you ought to read if you haven't yet.
I don't know. I'm really on the fly, sort of write that down. Maybe I'll get to it.
Maybe.
I don't know, because I don't know if I recommend any of those. For whatever reason, I remember really liking Bean Trees, but I don't know if there's any sort of everyone needs to learn this and whatever. I'm sure there is. That's why we had to read them. But yeah. I'm out of those 4 books, I'm no thanks. I would not go back.
See, on all of the books that I read in high school, I think they're all designed to depress children. And I think, why should we do that?
All of them are the saddest sack. The...
All of them.
Yeah, the Catcher in the Rye here is sad. Of Mice and Men is obviously sad.
Super sad.
What's the one with all the kids on the island that they...
not Animal Farm.
People read that too. I did not read
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm they never... 1984.
Yeah. They pick all these terribly, horribly sad books every semester. So you're reading at least 4 horrible books.
Oh, yeah. There was one where a girl was she had an illness that she was going to pass. And that's how she was I got to be positive. And I was this is awful. And then we had to write a thing on it if we were passing. I'm this is awful. Yeah. All of it was awful. I don't remember.
Have you read the most... Anyway.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this for a very long time because I'm you know what? All of the principles that you learn in all of those horribly depressing books can also be found in uplifting and positive books.
Oh, yeah. In the fiction ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can... I mean, those are mostly fiction as well, but
Right, but...
Yeah.
In the Fighting the Dragon books, you can learn a lot of business in there from that.
Yeah.
To not be
to not be super, super sad. It doesn't make for a good essay on your AP English test, but it does... You can learn all these principles from happy things, too. I feel the same way about all the Shakespeare plays that they foist on you in high school. They're super sad, depressing, dark, horrible. Othello? Good heavens. Macbeth? Please save us. Hamlet? Oh, it's so sad. Romeo and Juliet? No. It's murder, gore, blood, sadness. I'm come on, guys.
Yeah.
Midsummer Night's Dream is out there, too. That's a great play. Caesar's another one they had us read, and it's oh, yeah, you murder the guy, and then everybody dies afterwards. So it was the point what happened here? And then terrible things happened in Rome after that anyway. Why are we doing this? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
And so, replace Romeo with Love, Labor, Lost. It's a way better play, and it still has that kind of melancholy sadness, but it ends bittersweet instead of everybody's dead. Right? Anyway, and I think I'm going to make a societal statement, and I could be wrong. If I'm willing to make for the debate on this one. So please, in the comments, if you have a different opinion, please let me know. I think you become what you consume. Music, art, literature, movies. So if you take children in their most formative years and you force them to these depressing forms of media, all they're ever going to see is a dystopian future. And that's all you're ever going to get. And I think that might be why we have this epidemic of sadness amongst teenagers and young adults now, is because, here, read all this horrible, sad stuff.
Yeah.
And then they don't read anymore anything else. So they're not washing out
The rest.
everything, washing out all the bad, sad, negative stuff that they're being forced to read.
I don't know if I'd go that far, because there are people, like, I went through those, but I don't read those now, and I feel like I'm not a sad sack.
But I think reading has gone the way of it's fallen victim to social media and quick videos and things like that. Doom scrolling. Yeah. People don't read books anymore. True. So this is why I asked the question is, do you think it's relevant? Do you think it's important? Is because, see, I'm on my soapbox. So I got on it. Someone's going to have to knock me off. Oh my gosh. But like, I just don't feel like they're reading anything happy ever, and I don't think they ever will. And that's a shame because there's so many happy books out there.
What about Akaton?
Oh, what?
I've not read that book. I don't know anything about it.
No, we're not going down. I'm not going to read those. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm never doing it.
I have not read that, just to make that be clear. I've never read it.
I will not touch that. I do not want to be.
Dude, not to be off track, but I was going to be like, me and Emily should all read the same murder mystery book and only be able to, and see if we can figure it out. But now that I know you don't like murder,
I'll read it. You pick it, I'll read it.
Oh my god.
Come on, I'll do it. I haven't done any Agatha Christie's. We could do an Agatha Christie.
I've read almost all of them.
Okay, we'll pick one you haven't read yet, and we'll do that one. Of course, then you know how it works now, though.
Some of them, I'm like, I don't know, man. Yeah. Where did that come from? And sometimes it's hard because it's like you don't know the times, or at least I don't know the times. So then they do stuff, and you're like, oh, that was an option?
Didn't know that.
I didn't know. Yeah.
That's how I always feel about Sherlock Holmes books. You're like, oh, there's the resolution. Where did it come from?
That's it.
He never builds it up.
Hounds of Baskerville. My mom and I read that to like read classics, and at the end, not to be spoiler, but there was stuff that like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, it never got mentioned ever.
How was I like just supposed to know that the Moors produced that?
Yeah, we didn't know.
How do I know that?
We don't know.
I'm just supposed to know?
Maybe people who lived back then knew more.
See, that's why I'm like in the Agatha Christie. Maybe they just knew. Maybe that's the thing and whatever. But I'm like, I didn't know.
I just read a short story a few days ago. It was all about baseball, and it was using all the slang from the 1940s about baseball, and like, it would have made sense growing up that way.
Right,
you know?
Right.
I was so lost. I had to look up so many words. Yeah. And finally I gave up. I'm like, don't, just read it for the language and let it go, because you're not going to understand the culture around this.
Yeah, you're not going to be invested as much as they are.
America's pastime is not the America's pastime anymore.
I'd pick a book that's a nowadays thing.
That'd be fun.
Just so then we'd like understand what's happening.
We should do that, and we should let the reader or the watchers, people, do it with us too. That'd be fun. Yeah. Anyway, there's that.
If you're into reading.
If you're
literate. I always feel bad when I'm like, do you read? And then I feel like I'm asking them if they're literate or not. I know you're literate. No. I know you all can read.
I've given up on that. I don't want to ask people anymore. I get too many sad answers.
Sometimes I like asking just so they have to say no, and then they feel bad.
There you go. No,
I'm a bad person, but so on the rare occasion, I'll be like, do you even read? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, all right, well.
Okay.
And they're like, ooh.
Awkward conversations.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I couldn't think of any books I feel like everyone should read either, but I'll tell you.
Oh, good. That makes me feel way better.
Because, like, how can you say that there's a book that everyone should read? But, I mean, you know, top on the list of things that I think are important books.
Everyone could read Skullduggery Pleasant.
Everyone could read Skullduggery Pleasant. No, but I feel like there's
not for any reason, just out of like, that would be a recommendation. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. But I feel like it's pretty okay.
Okay, well, I'll answer my question slightly differently. I think books that made me think differently about the universe and made me think more with a greater open mind. And most of these are children's books, just because there's just like one-liners here and there that just really inspired me and opened up the way I think. So number one would be The Search for Delicious by Natalie Babbitt. It's a children's book for sure. You can read it in maybe an hour, tops.
Oh, okay.
And it is about how a community has to come together to define what delicious means in the dictionary.
Oh, jeez.
And it's great.
Okay.
It's such a wonderful, positive ending. So happy. But it's about, I love the perseverance of the main character. Anyway, it's Search for Delicious by Natalie Babbitt. Okay, number two, also by Natalie Babbitt, Tuck Everlasting.
Wow. No thanks.
It's so good.
Wait, is that the fairy one?
No. It's about the girl that meets the family that lives forever, the Tucks. And she has to decide if she wants to live forever or if she wants to have a normal life. The play is way sadder than the book. Holy, the musical, cried my eyes out at the end. But the book is a children's book, so it ends much more like on a child level of bittersweet, but it makes you think about the importance of living your life to the fullest and making it matter now.
I'm not gonna read that.
No, it's so good. It's so positive.
That stuff makes me upset.
No, it won't make you upset. I promise. The book isn't like that because it only takes place in one day. It's one day, and it changes her way of thinking about being involved in her life.
That stuff makes me think later about where you're like, kids die, and I'm like, no, I don't need to leave this and be like, why did I doom scroll for 3 hours today?
It's so good. It's so uplifting. It's okay. You don't have to read it. I'm not recommending it to you anyway. Next one, Last of the Really Great Wingdoodles, which I think I talked about last season. But that one is by Julie Andrews.
Oh, how nice!
So Mary Poppins wrote a book. I think that's fantastic. Or The Queen of Genovia, if you would rather. Yeah. It's such a good book, but it makes you think critically about scientific issues and, which side you want to fall on of the progress of science.
What was it called again?
The Last of the Really Great Wingdoodles.
Okay.
And it also makes you think about color and imagination and how important that is. And using your brain for more than just going, oh, that tree's green. Like, you got to think it through a little.
Okay.
So anyway, I love that book. That's probably my favorite of those three. Did I write any others down? I don't know. Those are the three children's books I think that changed my entire view on life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I really liked those. Other than that, nothing you read in high school matters. Just let it go. None of it.
Let it go.
None of it matters.
Deanne, if you're listening, don't listen.
If you're gonna foist Shakespeare off on unwilling students, change out Romeo and Juliet for Love's Labor Lost, change out Caesar for Midsummer Night's Dream. You can keep Hamlet if you absolutely have to for a depressing one. But I'd change it out for Much Ado About Nothing.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'd change out either Macbeth or Othello, which people interchange those two. I'd change out either one of those for As You Like It.
Okay.
Yep. Those are my Shakespeare recommendations. They're not recommendations though. Don't read them. Watch them if you're gonna do it.
Watch them.
Don't. They're plays. You're not supposed to read them. You're supposed to watch them.
Okay.
Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
That's my statements. I don't think I have anything else. This has gone on long enough. I'm curious. Everybody, tell us your favorite movies, music.
Oh my gosh, your books. Your books. And let us know if you've read either of the two or the four that we were gonna read.
Yeah.
Or have read. Whatever the freak.
Just get in here and talk. That's what we want. Comment.
Tell your friends about us.
Thank you for following us along all season.
Yeah.
And
it's been fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye.